Here goes nothing. Our first real trial, baby. I'm excited about this prosecutor. A lot of people have been, like, anxious to get to this part, and I don't even know, like, what he's gonna look like. Because I've seen a lot of pictures, but I'd get mixed up between which ones I've seen, which ones I... Well, if I hadn't seen him, I guess I wouldn't know that, would I? But what I'm picturing is, like, a really tall guy who looks like Von Karma. Like, in the body, but maybe, like, long black hair or something. I don't know. You okay, Athena? You've been really antsy ever since we got here. I'm just excited. This is my first real court case, after all. Yeah, a real ball of excitement she is. Well, she just wants to take it seriously, you know? Make a good first impression. Nothing wrong with that. What? By scaring the daylights out of me. I find that shouting "I'm fine" in a loud voice really relieves stress. It's part of my Chords of Steel voice workout, and a must before every trial. You want me to shout? Here? That's right. Here, I'll go first, and then you try. I'm not shouting, right? It is late at night, and I don't want to be too loud here. Well, you do what you gotta do, y'all. An old friend of mine from junior high and I say it all the time. I see. A proven remedy to calm the soul. I like it. Hey, how about we finish off with... Cojito? A race around the courthouse. The point is to relieve stress, not get totally exhausted. Hey, Phoenix, how's it going, dude? Man, oh, girl, you are looking good. What's with all the racket, you two? Oh, Mr. Wright. God, he's just jumped right back into it like nobody's business here. It's a little voice workout. Hey, what's with the suit? Oh, this? Pfft, I'll just wear it around the house, you know? I was thinking about getting my attorney's badge back. That's all. Oh, this right. Yeah, this is before. This is like in the past. So this is like. So the last time that Apollo saw Phoenix, in this particular point, was like Hobo Phoenix. Or at least that's what they call him. But, you know. That's all. That's huge news. But why now? I have a feeling I'll be needed in the courtroom again sometime soon. He's even got the pose and everything, you know? But we can talk about that another time. No fair. Inquiring minds want to know. But wow. Exactly. So used to him and his usual late, yeah, there we go. I didn't have to explain it at all. Oh, that was a nice transition. That suit makes him look like $1 million. That's because he is $1 million. By the way, have you heard about the prosecutor assigned to this case? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he's serving time, but before that, he was a prosecutor. He also uses psychology? That's right. I've heard the rumors about how he was back before his conviction. Using the power of suggestion, he can make even the most stalwart defendants confess. Psychology in the courtroom. Been hearing a lot about that lately. So he must be a pretty scary guy, considering he's a prison inmate and all. So they say. They also say he'll cut you down if you talk too much. Oh. Even Phoenix looks... Oh. Probably just hyperbole. At least I hope for your sake. Wait, so is it true or not? Haha. Let's just say you should be concise and choose your words carefully. If you'd like to keep that head of yours attached to the rest of your body, that is. Yikes. Better tone down my cords of steel, too. Well, Apollo, you and me both, buddy. That's not a bad idea. You know, I always do that in Danganronpa. Why don't I do it in Phoenix Wright? Like, give the evidence a once-over, just look at it all. Let's do that right now. I might not show all this because I just want to, like, review it for myself. But I'm guessing a lot of people who are watching it are already familiar with this and wouldn't need to sit here and watch me reintroduce it. But the phone is at a dead end. If she really wanted to get away from the monster, it seems like she would have just gone straight to the foyer herself rather than like, close herself off at a dead end, even if there was a phone there. Maybe there was a phone downstairs. It just seems weird. I don't know. But, I don't know. Maybe that's overthinking it or something, but... Okay, and there was a camera there, so... Like, there was nowhere else for the bird to go. Unless the bird went into the office. And he could have done that without being spotted. Probably. Oh, I don't think we've seen this. After leaving the scene and calling the police, they passed each other at a bend in the hall as he made for the foyer. He was carrying a staff-like implement that jingled and jangled. She couldn't call for help because there was no one else in the hall. Alright. And then this TV program, I don't know what is going on here. Is he like watching wrestlers to maybe make bets on them or something? I don't know. Or maybe like somehow the matches are rigged. And they run it from, like they have some kind of underground thing or something. I don't know. There's a lot of different things that this could be. But anyway, Mr. Wright, I'm fine. I'll be watching from the gallery with my girlfriend Valerie. We'll be talking about our salaries while eating lots of calories. Okay, let's do this. The odds of pulling this off are ridiculously low, but that's nothing new. Believe in our client. Seek the truth. That's all we can do. Hang in there, Mayor Tenma. Here comes justice. Quorum number 4. So they fixed it up. Did they? Oh, looks good. Well done, construction men. Court is now in session for the trial of Damien Tenma. Hall of Justice, defense team leader. Gosh, I look so, like, small next to Phoenix, you know? I'd know that big booming voice anywhere. As chipper as ever, eh, Mr. Justice? But who is the young lady next to you? I'm Athena Sykes, Mr. Justice's junior partner and fresh out of law school. Well now, full of beans too, eh? Excellent! Makes an old man feel young again. You wish. Now for the prosecution. Okay, guys. Get your... Let's just do it. Of course. He's invisible. That's so cool! An invisible prosecutor? How are we going to be able to tell if he's angry? Anyway, it appears the prosecution is not ready yet. Never fear, for I shall explain. It's just a minor procedural complication, Your Honor. The prosecutor for this case is being escorted from prison as we speak. Prison? Oh yes, of course. I almost forgot that he is currently serving time. You almost forgot? How do you forget something like that, man? Why am I suddenly talking like a southerner? Oh, jeez.
Yup, Prosecutor Blackquill's an inmate.
Well, that's gross.
But even a convicted murderer still got a job to do and duties to perform.
Whoa. Maybe I have seen this guy. Whoa. Okay. Monokuma. Oh. Well, I certainly was not off with the long black hair part, was I? I have not seen this dude at all, though. Or if I have, I don't remember that much. Who's that with his back to us over there? It's him, y'all. That's him. I'm sure of it. Prosecutor Blackquill. Oh, that's right. And he was the one who, I guess, killed her friends or parents or family or whatever. Is the prosecution ready? Fool. Do you think I would come where I'm not completely prepared? No. What are you chewing on? Oh boy. Enough jabbering. Get on with it already. Ah! Of course, forgive me. Jeez. Oh boy. Very well, Prosecutor Blackquill. Your opening. Uh-oh. What's the matter? Must we... Oh, jeez, I need a voice for this dude. Oh, gee. Oh, man. Oh, man. There's nothing I can do that could possibly, you know... I'm not going to try too hard with it because I'm probably going to be voicing this guy for a while. It's probably something pretty normal here. Must we continue to fritter away time like that? Well, maybe. We'll play around with it as we go. It is all right there in the indictment. An opening statement would be pointless. Pointless? Oh, well. Looks like the cat, or in this case the prosecutor, has the judge's tongue. But, we need an opening statement as an overview of the case at hand. Well then, your baldness, if it's so very important, why don't you do the honors? Who, me? There's a term for people who whine and fuss about how they need silly, useless things, and then decide they no longer want them once it's theirs. A selfish old fool. Huh? Well, was that the prosecution's opening statement? No. Ugh. The rattling of those chains, though, man. Old dotards. Old dotards such as you are a plague upon the young. I pity your poor grandchildren. Or is it great-grandchildren? Holy crap. All these years I thought the opening statement was the prosecutor's job. But I suppose I could give it a try. Might be a nice change of pace. Makes sense! What, he actually fell for that? That must have been the power of suggestion Mr. Wright was talking about. Ah. The opening statement, huh? Let's see here. The victim was one Rex Cuby, alderman of Nine Tails Vale. And the defendant, Damien Tenma, mayor of Tenma Town, is accused of this murder. And why, pray tell, was the mayor arrested? His prints were on the murder weapon. What? What voice was that? Plus he had a motive, the elimination of the biggest roadblock to the municipal merger. The caretaker and the security other potential suspects both have alibis. And his daughter, who was also in the vicinity at the time of the incident, has no motive. So in a nutshell, I'd have to say the charges against the defendant are incontrovertible. I'd like to drive a convertible. Bravo, your baldness. Your years of experience shine bright like your head. Ho ho ho, flattery will get you everywhere. Maybe I'll knock a couple years off your sentence. He's playing Simon Says with a judge. Moving right along now, let's hear from our first witness for the day, Detective Fulbright. Well, here goes nothing. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I am the detective assigned to this case, Bobby Fulbright, dudes. Oh, and I'll also be keeping tabs on old Blackquill here. I also heard you would provide protection if it ever came to that. Huh, what am I going to do over here? It would seem that I have been sorely underestimated. Wait, who's protecting who from what? Still, I truly believe anyone can turn their life around, even old Blackquill here. Nope. Hands up, silly. Fulbright! Save your platitudes for funerals. Get on with your statement. That's the spirit. Justice must be swift and true. I see it in your eyes. There is hope for your rehabilitation and return to society. I will never give up on you. Or I will never give... Shit. Prosecutor Blackquill doesn't seem to intimidate Detective Fulbright. Well, you know what they say, ignorance is bliss. Oh, so that's why Detective Fulbright was assigned to Blackquill. He's so oblivious! Ah. Now let's have your first statement, Detective. You got it! But first, I'd like to say the defense that justice will ultimately prevail. Man, he is so ready, man. Just look at him. Oh. Alderman Cuby was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall. Fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon. At the time, Alderman Kuby was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested. Say what? See, that's one of the whats I missed. I said something like, wait, what, or something. I should have counted. You can count it now if you want, if it makes you feel better. Because I know it was there. That's a really irresponsible... Anyway. Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed a statue and struck back. Ugh. Yeah, I know. That's right, the accused was scared, because the alderman was a former pro wrestler. So he slipped him a drug to make sure he'd be out cold and defenseless. Here's the autopsy report to prove it. Great. That was the one thing I was going to hone in on, but you got an autopsy report for it, so... Ugh. Cause of death stabbed with a spear. 3:20 p.m. The victim had been in a drug-induced slumber. Sheesh. And the victim managed to attack his attacker despite being impaled by a spear? That sounds almost superhuman. Is it even possible? Well, he was a former pro wrestler after all. That spear was probably nothing more than a mosquito bite to him.
Objection!
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Not so fast. Don't try to brush it all off by saying the alderman had been a pro wrestler. Do you really expect us to believe he could fight back after being skewered by a spear? Never heard of the incredible feats of which man is capable of in a pinch, have you? Like the samurai of yore, wrestlers can battle through intense pain. It sharpens their senses. I used to talk about it with a former wrestler I met in the clink. I don't know, it still sounds a little far-fetched. Does it now? Then perhaps we should test the theory on you with the edge of my blade. I'll pass. I didn't sign up for this. Oh my god, he's pointing backwards like Alanis Morissette in the video to Ironic when she points to her shoulder. Anyway, and so your life is spared. For now. Please let those shackles be made of titanium. I do not want to die. Huh? My investigations are as thorough as they are foolproof. Or my name isn't Fulbright. What if it isn't? I vow to resign immediately if I ever make a false arrest. The accused prints were on the weapon, and he's the one person without an alibi. Quite decisive evidence, wouldn't you agree, your baldness? The defendant is sounding guiltier by the minute. He has the judge leaning toward a guilty verdict, and the trial's just barely begun. Well, that's how it happens. What's more, a curious rumor about the accused is making the rounds. They say he seeks the murder for the purpose of freeing Tenma Taro from his imprisonment. Yeah. Truth be told, I can think of no real reason to show interest in that backwards bird. Perhaps he's a complete nutter, and really does seek to release an imaginary demon. Either way, he is raving mad, and more than capable of murdering the alderman. So he's using some kind of British vernacular here, like mad, and what's the other one? Oh my god, I should have read that there just now. Hang on a second, what did that say? That mayor is a strange one, alright. I heard he went to a blood drive, but instead of donating, he tried to make a withdrawal. Okay. That is crazy. Oh, nutter was the other word he used, too. Order! There will be no gossiping in my court! Your baldness. Please take a gander at these charms plastered across his cranium. I hear they're meant to keep him safe from possession by the demon Tenma Taro. Then again... perhaps he's already under the demon's spell. Behold! The lunatic appears poised to lunge at you at any moment. Yeep. He is not. The rumors and quirks of Mayor Tenma have no relevance to this case. Besides, those charms on his head, they're just a fashion statement. I think. Come to think of it, such things don't seem relevant to the case, do they? Nope. The prosecution will refrain from dragging our client's reputation through the mud. You tell that asshole. Oh, what a dreadfully fearsome lass we have here. Whew, thanks for that lifeline, Athena. Careful, Apollo. He has the judge dancing in the palm of his hand. The power of suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Simon Blackwill's arsenal. He's trying to manipulate everyone's impressions to suit his objectives. This guy really is bad news. Can't let him get away with that. In any case, it seems the victim did manage to defend himself, despite being impaled. What sort of weapon did he use against his attacker? None other than this statue right here. I was just about to say that, but you knew. It appears to be a statue of two strange creatures locked in battle. I keep pressing save by accident here. Jeez. Two yokai, to be exact. On one side. Okay, Lana Sky, seriously now, you're weird. One side is the nine-tailed fox, and on the other, Tenmataro. Quite interesting if you think about it. It's as though this very case were rendered in art. Ah. Weapon used to bludgeon the mayor. The mayor's blood was found on it, but no prints could be lifted. Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Oh, now? Wow. Feels like ages ago that we actually heard this testimony. Jeez. Alright, then. Alderman Cubey was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall. Let's just go ahead and press here. So those weapons on the wall of the Fox's chamber, I presume those are real? Don't you think keeping real weapons around like that is rather dangerous? No matter what he collected, the alderman insisted it be the real deal. For instance, he had a real demon's club in his possession. Apparently, one of his ancestors claimed it after defeating a demon in battle. Yeah, I know. Oh god. There it is. You knew we were going to see this one eventually. The alderman had pure, unadulterated justice flowing in his veins. What is he doing? Is he crying? Holy crap. I like this music again. It reminds me of the Bujerba theme from FF12. It's got like a similar sort of progression to it. Nothing but claptrap and balderdash, if you ask me. Now stop your bleating and tell us about the weapon. My bleating? Your wish is my command. There he is. The old suggestion. The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon, as we know. Yes, I do. But he doesn't think so. I'd venture to say he did not wipe off the prints because he could not. He was knocked the fuck out, that's why. Or because the spear was stuck in him. Looks like he wants you to figure it out. Well, I'll just stand there, show him who's boss. I'm totally lost. So why don't you just tell me the answer already? He's like, nope. I'm not doing it for you. I don't think he saw that plea for help. You feeling alright, kid? Running a fever, perhaps? Would you like some Alka-Seltzer? Which trials came with a reset button. Well, the specifics may yet come to light. Please proceed, Detective Fulbright. At the time, Alderman Cubey was asleep from a drug he unwittingly... Okay, we need to hear about this or learn about... Well, I didn't really look at the thing, though, did I? Oh! There was a coffee cup. Let me see something here. I didn't actually look at this autopsy report. Stabbed with the spear around 3:20 p.m. Well, I guess that's all it really says. Okay. Cool. Well, at least we know that. Was the sedative in the coffee? Bingo! We found traces of a sleeping agent all over the inside of the cup. And that is why he was out cold. I'm starting to lean towards the British thing, even though we just did that in investigations too. Maybe I could just be really light on it. That is until he leapt to his feet upon being impaled by the mayor. What an awful way to wake up. Yeah, you're telling me. A rather stimulating eye-opener, if you ask me. I, too, would have risen to the attack, for to die in battle is the samurai way. Paradise awaits fallen heroes, but that hole in his stomach would make eating a challenge. Is he, like, laughing at himself? Wow. Prosecutor Blackquill, please! These morbid jokes of yours have no place in this court. Shut up, says the jester in detective's guise. Moving right along! Man. Wow, how many more times am I gonna do that? Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab.
Hold it!
Alright, well. So the alderman was drugged because he was really strong. Did you see those rock-hard muscles of his? I'm surprised the spear even managed to pierce that armor-like musculature. I admit I'm completely jealous of that righteous body of his. Well, he did look pretty buff, even in that suit he had on. Quite a difference when compared to a yellow belly like you. That's red belly. Or else I'll play some red letter yellow shit. Yeah, the color's all wrong too. Oh, I know! How about a squishy red tomato? I move to strike both of your comments from the record. Your Honor, I object and I move to strike! Mr. Justice's character is not the issue here. Now let's get back to what happened after the far more muscular alderman was impaled. Yes, well, your average person would likely have died on the spot. But not this man. Okay, grabbed a statue and struck back. Like the Empire? Could he really have attacked his attacker after being impaled with that huge spear? Absolutely! After all, he was once a pro wrestler. The injustice of being drugged, then speared, was answered with a righteous counterattack. Well, did he know he had been drugged? But does being a former pro wrestler make him superhuman? Well, that's where you gotta draw the invisible line, you know? Absolutely! After all, he was one of the good guys, like a superhero on the side of justice. Even though he was retired, he could still don his superhero guise in times of need. You need to lay off the comic books, dude. We're talking about real life here. Setting aside the half-wit's flights of fancy, the fact is this. The court-ordered post-mortem included the victim... Wait a minute. Let me start over. Sorry about that. The court-ordered post-mortem concluded the victim moved after his skewing. So he found the strength somehow to attack his attacker, huh? Detective Fulbright's testimony sounds airtight. No wonder he's so confident. No, he only thinks it's airtight. It's up to us to poke some holes in it. The part about the alderman fighting back sounds like a big hole waiting to be poked. Yep, well, let's get over that one then. Sun paint told the victim we grab a statue and struck back. Okay. So, let's look over the stuff again here. Statue particularly. Okay, I see a number of things that I could use here, although a lot of it is like requires a little bit of a leap in logic. Number one is the statue. It says no prints could be lifted from it. Well, if he was really impaled with a spear, would he have been able to remove the prints himself? With the spear still in him? Probably not. I assume he would be the only one who would want to remove the prints. But then again, maybe the reason no prints can be lifted is some other reason. Maybe somebody else got rid of them, I don't know. See, the thing is, I know that when we came into the room, the guy was still there, her dad. But Jinxie said she saw the demon in the hallway. So, like, who was that? You know, I assume it was a person in a costume, right? So it had to have been one of the two of them, and it couldn't have been either one, based on what we know here. Like, there would have had to be a third person there, I think. Not entirely sure here. The other thing is there's no prints, though. That's the one that keeps nagging me. I think I'll try that one first. Bam! Did the alderman really strike the mayor? I'm gonna blow my nose, man. What? Are you questioning my sense of justice? I don't know. Why don't you tell me? Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs to stand on. Ooh! You claim the alderman struck back after the mayor put a spear through him. But the statue he supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory. It would appear that the defense has a counter-argument. Very well, let's hear what the defense thinks is odd about Detective Statue 6. There are no fingerprints. There are no fingerprints on this supposedly crucial piece of evidence. And if you look at the crime scene photo, nobody's wearing gloves. Nice. Yes, I believe he is quite gloveless indeed. If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, did you? Wow. Oh, shoot. Did I arrest the wrong man?